Song of the Nightingale by Grant Hindin Miller. Illustrations by Pamela Matthews. For my children, Rebecca and Isaac. If you keep a green bough in your heart, the singing bird will come. On the outskirts of the town of Tehran, the nightingale felt a strange stirring. It was like a butterfly testing its wings in his heart. While others burrowed deeply into nests to protect themselves from the wind, the nightingale flew from twig to leaf, seeking those berries which would help prepare his voice. "Get inside," warned the squirrel. "The day is too cold." "Return to your nest," advised the field mouse. "There's a frost." "What are you doing?" the mother of the nightingale asked. "Preparing to sing," he replied. For days the nightingale had felt this call. It was an inner command he could not resist. "Well, sing and be done with it," begged his mother. She looked across at her neighbor's home. "Her son is a fine nest builder. I had to give birth to a poet." But the nightingale paid no heed to the warnings or cold and made his preparations carefully. As day followed night and night followed day, the land animals gathered their winter stores, repairing their holes from the knifing wind. The wild asses huddled under rocky outcrops, the gazelles clung to the sparse trees, even the wolves hugged the back of their dens. Winter was upon them. The nightingale ignored the cold and rain, and one sunset, when the icicle stars chimed in the sky, when the Milky Way unfolded her sparkling lace across the purple dome of heaven, he knew the time had come. The tall-headed cypress saw him rise from the nest and shook her head with concern. She knew he could not withstand the November wind. "Come in! Stop this foolishness!" cried his mother, trying to fend off the chill which channeled down from the snow-capped mountains. "You'll catch your death!" The nightingale didn't answer. Leaving the nest, he flew to the topmost bough of the tree. Oh, how he gasped as the frost bit through his feathers. But standing on the outstretched branch, he puffed out his chest and began to sing. And such a melody! The song was full and flowing like a spring stream on an alpine hill. It eddied and trickled from his beak in trills and couplets, the notes turning upon themselves in spirals and arabesques. The nightingale warbled a rainbow of light in the November sky. All the animals heard the magical swoon of that voice. The fox in his hole, the wolf in her den, the field mouse beneath the sand. Even the mighty eagle turned his crooked beak towards that voice, which rose like a minaret in the still, chill air. From the warm comfort of its snug home, each ear rang with the thrill of that bell-like song. He sang of fairy mansions, of sun-decked paths and mottled ways. He sang of spring, of liquid jewels of crimson dust on golden wings. It was a song of celebration, praising the very paths and stones and steps of Tehran. All evening, the music soared towards the sleeping city. The cypress could not recall such an event in her long and ancient life. By dawn, the little bird had almost collapsed, but still the notes rang clear, more sweet and perfumed than before. The honey voice rose and fell until the nightingale's breath was almost spent. At great pain to herself, the cypress closed her twig fingers to protect his tiny body. What could arouse such song, she wondered. The cypress looked to Tehran. She peered into the alleys and corridors of the awakening town. As her gaze swept the Tehran streets, the nightingale's voice reached feverish pitch. Then, from the edge of the world, a sparkle of sun kissed the sky. And there, in the first blush of dawn, the cypress saw a family holding up a newborn child, a beautiful, wonderful child. Now she understood. It was for him that the nightingale had sung. The cypress gazed at the fallen bird. She raised her great branch arm to the sun, though she knew it was too late. The morning creatures began to stir. One by one, they clustered around the body of the nightingale. "I have never heard such a song," marveled the squirrel. "Nor I," replied the field mouse. "What day is this?" "November 12th. "The day is great," said the squirrel. The mother of the nightingale flew to his branch. "Why wasn't he a nest builder?" she sobbed. Then, in the tingling of her bark, the cypress felt something wonderful. The small nightingale stirred. He opened his droopy eyes and breathed a long, slow breath of air. "He's alive! He's alive!" The morning rang to the chorus of animals as the tiny bird revived. The cypress, too, found herself creaking with joy as the little nightingale took food and flapped his wings. "It is a great day," said the nightingale's mother, with a proud wing about her poet son. "A very great day," she repeated, and she gazed with an eye of mystery toward Tehran. The cypress nodded. The countryside had a new appearance. Something had changed. Something in the very heart of nature had changed. Indeed, the world would never be the same again, for in Tehran, on that November morning, Bahá'u'lláh was born. Blessed is the spot, and the house, and the place, and the city, and the heart, and the mountain, and the refuge, and the cave, and the valley, and the land, and the sea, and the island, and the meadow, where mention of God hath been made, and his praise glorified. Bahá'u'lláh.